Jackie.
Hi. Are you having fun? You're so. I didn't even do anything funny, and you just start laughing.
You just made me laugh. You just made me laugh.
Best teeth. I wish I had those teeth.
Me? I don't have good. No, my teeth are horrible.
Your teeth are the bomb. Are you kidding?
No
They're
way.
just like huge. They look like big teeth. I love big teeth. I have little. Okay. Oh gosh, I just rammed this desk. Sorry.
I'm not sure if I have like average teeth. Maybe.
Well, I mean, you have like a big smile.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
It's the best. I freaking love it.
Oh, now I'm feeling self-conscious.
No, don't feel self-conscious. This is great.
I don't like my smile.
So, how was we had a great time talking about Dragon Con, and now we're going to talk about all the other cool stuff we have to do.
Now, all the other cool stuff that's happening, like you have some cool stuff that you're doing for BlizzCon.
I do. So, I'm going to start by saying that my brother's getting married. I bought this gold grill. Just side note.
Why did you buy a gold grill?
You know, because us aliens like strange things that Americans use. So
do you get a better reception with it in?
I do, yeah. I bought it for a fun, like a gag thing.
To the mothership.
Yeah, yeah. I have to do that in order to transmit my brainwaves better to the mothership. So, anyways, my brother's getting married in 9 days, and Liz and Sean are coming in town for the wedding. I have to pick them up from the airport. I am the matron of honor. So I'm giving a speech, which I finished writing, and I have to make my sister-in-law to be's veil, which she wants a cathedral veil, double layer. I have to like make the satin trim that she wants all the way through the veil out of her mom's old fabric she used for her dress. I have like this enormous list of stuff to do that I, didn't like. It came at the worst time. I didn't foresee. Yeah. So I have to do these things. My brother's, he's my little brother. I love him. He's my best friend.
It's a wedding. You can't slag off a wedding.
No, I can't because I can never do it again. I can't make it up. So I have to I bought favors, and I have to like add all these labels to the favors. Like I'm just losing it.
And then you have.
I have all these projects. So problem is, I have a photo shoot for my Simplicity stuff that's after the wedding, but it's all these things before BlizzCon. So Simplicity photo shoot for the pattern that's coming out in the spring. And that's for the large pattern and the small pattern. I have my Nintendo props go back, that I've been slowly repairing them because they're going back for the holidays. So it's like I'm having to weave them into other stuff.
Oh, I didn't realize you were still working on those.
Well, yeah, because they came broken because they got shipped back.
Well,
badly.
yeah, I kind of thought that was already done.
But here's the problem is I have had to film, as you guys saw, the BlizzCon stuff, like the BlizzCon video stuff. So,
explain the BlizzCon video stuff in case there's somebody out there that hasn't seen it.
Right. So it'll make more sense why those things they had to get weaved in. They weren't priority.
No, I got you. I just kind of thought you were done with that already, but.
I wish. I just only have 2 hands. I mean, my other alien cousins have like 6 hands. I wish I had the 6, but.
They handicapped you.
They did, yeah. So I would fit in better.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to be too cool. Yeah. So I was originally doing Thunderbird Pharah. I have this like super awesome. I had just so much done. It was like great. It was getting really close to finish. Like just a lot of finishing work, but my pieces were all done. And then I had talked to someone from Blizzard, my friend Alex, earlier in the year about doing a thing for BlizzCon, but I didn't really hear official stuff for a long time, and I had to like keep it on the DL. And then they were like, hey, we want to go forward with this with you. And they contracted me up and NDA'd me up. And I started work on a costume or the video series that you guys saw on the virtual ticket, which is advanced cosplay. I know, don't make fun of me, but like it's just different than regular cosplay. It's just like it's a harder costume, I guess. That's why it's labeled as that.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. Because
there's also somebody else on the virtual ticket that's doing like a more beginner.
There's a bunch. They have like a little series of in-house stuff they did, which is great. They have like makeup and it's got like their employees that cosplay because they have a pretty decent cosplay community in-house.
Yeah, they do. So, we know quite a few of the people that are all involved in that.
And some of them are in those videos. So I thought that was a fun thing. They wanted to add a lot of extra content to the virtual ticket because it just hadn't evolved. The virtual ticket with DirecTV had been kind of like more TV style, and they wanted it to be more stream style and have just tons of content, like everything, just you could see all these parts of the con that you wouldn't get to see otherwise, not just the main stage. And they want to see cosplay on the floor and cosplay people that are lined up to compete, and they want to ask them questions and interview them. And so I'm going to be doing a really cool thing at BlizzCon with that. And then this video series is kind of like the prequel to that. This is you getting to see me build my costume and then getting to see me debut it at BlizzCon. and you're going to get to see all my, crazy antics and techniques and stuff. It's not like instructional. It's just kind of like watching my journey.
Yeah. It's more like, here, watch me sand for 4 hours.
Yeah, and time lapse, luckily. I mean, the sanding, if I added the sanding, that would have been all 5 videos. So,
I know. It's like, and you glue this thing together in 2 seconds, and now you sand for 10 hours. Yes.
And so it's there will be bits and pieces that are just going to have to be done off camera because it's too much. They'd be long videos. They just want fun clips and fan interaction. So that was such an honor to get to, this has been an honor to get to do this with them. They are the best company to work for. I love them so much. I could die. Like they are just, Steve, SKS Props makes fun of me because he's like, you're one of those Blizzard fanboys. I'm like, yeah. So what, dude?
And you know what? They pay really well too.
and I played their games. It's the very first online game I ever played was there. So it's like, dude, of course. It's fine. I have a sweet spot for them and I'm sappy about it. I can't help it. I love Blizzard.
Well, and the thing is I think it's earned because look at the stuff they're doing. I mean, they don't have to hire you to do all this and add that to the virtual ticket and have all this other content out there. They don't have to do any of that.
No, but they listen to the fans.
In fact, I don't know of any other con that does that kind of stuff, So
exactly, yeah.
So they've earned their allegiance not only from just from their games and their quality of content, but also just the fact that they really, really love the fans. And I've said this probably 1,000 times, and I'll say it again. It's like when you go to BlizzCon, that as a fan you are loved.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty cool thing because how does that work? I mean, that seems kind of corny, but it's true.
Yeah, so. No, I don't know another company that. Well, I mean, maybe some indie companies, but another large company that responds and interacts with their fans on such an interesting level. Like Alex posted in a group and was like, "Hey guys, do you have any requests or suggestions for the BlizzCon, cosplay, costume related stuff?" And there will be changes to the costume contest down the road that they've worked on, but that there's just too much this year with the virtual tickets. So they're hearing what people are saying and they're making changes, and that's amazing. Like when people were like, us that buy the virtual ticket and don't get to go, we don't get to see a lot of the costumes up close. We don't get to see the floor. Alex is like, we're changing that. And Blizzard was like, yep, we love that idea. You guys want to see that? Sure. And I think that's so fun. And I'm honored that and privileged, but like lucky, I guess, that I've been trusted to do this and not fail. But I am really excited to just get to walk around and talk to people dressed in Pharah and just make jokes and see what everybody made their stuff out of and see all my friends. And the cool thing is this opens the door this doesn't mean I'll be doing it forever. I'd love to work for Blizzard forever, but this is opportunities that could be spread through the community. Maybe other things will open up and next year and other cool cosplay events. So I think that it's a cool turn in a cool direction for like the costume and cosplay community in general.
I absolutely agree. And so now you're no longer doing Thunderbird, but you're doing Mecha Pharah.
Oh,
is that
yes.
right? Is that what it's called? Is it Mech or Mecha? Mecha Queen?
Yeah, okay. Mecha Queen. So that's how I started this whole sentence. Yeah. Well, so Thunderbird Pharah is all packed up. The cannon is 3D printed right there, and it's like so close. It's like super far along.
The tip of it's just kind of sticking out there.
Yeah, it's like ready, and it's in previous podcasts you could see it like sitting behind on the table, but and the helmet was behind me. It's all packed up.
I noticed in your Blizzard video you could see it pretty prominently. Was that on purpose?
I stayed to I had to set things up because I cleaned and bring stuff around. Everything looks different. And if you notice that my intro, you can see Brittany's Assaultron.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
And it was a slightly longer clip, but it got cut down. So I wish that they'd kept the whole pan and then turned because it was just start with Brittany, but it's just goofy. I have upstairs I straightened everything up and moved it all around, but it's actually really fun to kind of have people in my shop, so to speak. Yeah. Because people get to see me working, and I don't try to I'm not trying to be I just was my normal self. So I have earbuds in I have these wireless earbuds that are amazing, and I'm listening to Justin Bieber. Shut up. as I
hey, whatever fuels your cosplay, whatever fuels it, you know.
When it's that late at night, like, you do what you need to get through, and he helps me get through.
You jam it out.
So,
you jam it out. But
I had my glove on, and I was trying it on, and I'm dancing, and like that got kept in the editing because I'm trying the glove on, and I was like, yay, that was good. People that know me see that and think that's Jackie, you know.
And you're and just to be clear, you're filming everything yourself. There's not like somebody there filming you, right?
No, they have been amazing with, there's like, I'm working with a production team, and then it's like their production team in Blizzard, and they have steered me in the right direction. They've helped me with everything. I have a really awesome Rode mic that plugs into my DSLR, and it is the bomb quality, like the bomb.com quality. It's so freaking good. I love, like, and my friend Liz Brickley, she's my editor.
I was going to say, and somebody else is editing for you too, right?
Yeah, they were amazing. They let me, like, Liz had to sign contract too.
Yeah.
And they let me bring Liz on, and like, do you know how freaking cool it is to like get to bring your friend along, and like Liz is gonna get paid, even cooler. So it's so freaking fun to get to do stuff with friends. And she was I needed an editor, and I really just don't have the time to. It would take me 3 times longer than it takes her. Yeah. And we have this like file sharing thing. It's awesome, and she's so fast. She gave me like a format of how she wants the clips. Like, she's like, film them like this in these certain like bites, and she edits lightning fast. She they gave us music to choose from. She put music in. They did a little bit, but it's mostly Liz, and like that is amazing. She's just so fun. She's the best friend anybody could ask for.
Well, she's doing an excellent job because the videos look great.
Thank you. It's so funny because a couple of times I send her stuff, like I'd start filming and I'd be like really close to the camera like this, and I'd pull back. So she'd send me she'd like take a picture of her screen and send me a text like, oh, I'm leaving this in.
Like, oh, you asked for it now.
Yeah, it's fun to send stuff to people though, because you get to add goofy stuff like that. I enjoy it. Yeah, but this has been such an amazing experience, and just seeing them go up on they told me I had a meeting at DragonCon, which is, you know, funny, but I'm the kind of person, like, if a company wants to work with me, I want to fit in. I'll fit you in anytime. Like, I love opportunities, especially with things I'm passionate about. So like they told me about the date for the virtual ticket, and so I've been like biting my nails, counting down the day and waiting to tell everybody. So when I got the date,
waiting for it to premiere.
Yeah,
and that was yesterday, right? Was it yesterday?
That was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
And I was in my shop just like, I was filming something and just staring at the screen, like waiting, so excited. And man, just seeing them on a Blizzard site, like BlizzCon.com, is just such a fun, kind of surreal thing. And I don't know, it's so dorky, but I love it. It feels so awesome. Cool.
And so you're doing Mecha
Queen Pharah. And so Thunderbird got packed up. Oh.
And behind you. Oh, did you want to finish talking about
I do have something to say about, so I don't forget this. There is a girl, gosh, this kills my soul. So Thunderbird Pharah is very controversial. Like, anybody that plays Overwatch out there knows about that. There's a lot of drama behind Thunderbird Pharah. Mecha Queen Pharah is
because
a robot. Because of the Native American First Nations and all this stuff. So Mecha Queen Pharah is a lot less controversial. It's just, it's a robot, you know, so it's kind of like comfortable. I don't have to worry about that. But I saw a girl just finish the Rain Dancer Pharah, and she posted in the Overwatch cosplay group, and she is a Native American. She's Cherokee.
I know her. She's local to she's local to Seattle.
Oh, well, she got slammed. She got a lot of hate. And
I guess a lot of people approached her at PAX and told her she was being racist, and
it just like that kills my soul, man. Like, I feel really, my heart goes out to her, because that is just, gosh, guys, like, man, why? I just don't understand. Like, even if you are offended, that poor girl, you know how crushed I would have, like, if I was younger. Now I'm like, you come for me, buddy. Like, I'm pretty tough, because what are you going to do? You know, it sticks off me or bounce off me, sticks to you, that kind of thing. You know, that actually works as you get older, because it's just like, you're too tired for it to matter. That's the truth of it. It's like, all right, insult me, please. It'll put me to sleep. I need something to help me sleep. But this girl, she's younger, and I started to type like a response, and I was like, no. There's no point in me saying a big thing to her on the internet about how I wish it was. It just opens her up to more ridicule, because people love to fight. And if somebody says something, I read comments, and once you stand up for someone, people are like, well, I'm going to take the other side just because I feel like debating today. Even though they've never even talked about it before, it doesn't matter to them. Some people just like to fight. And I just felt so bad for her, man, because I can't imagine what that feels like, to be out put yourself out there in a usually accepting and friendly community, and then just have people come up to you in person and say things to you like, what? In person? Mind your business. Mind your business. That's how I feel.
I completely agree. And since we're talking about her, I just found her real quick because I want to put her name out there. She goes by Charmanda, CHARMANDA at Charmanda Plays on Facebook. Go follow her, give her a like, and tell her how kick ass her Pharah is.
Yeah.
Because she's half Cherokee, so.
I know. I was like, oh gosh, what's wrong with you guys?
And my comment to her was,
came up to her didn't know that either, so they just came up, decided to attack. It's like, the ironic thing is you're wrong. Like,
yeah, and I mean, and not to like label people, but she's obviously not white.
Yes, I know.
You look at
I clicked on her profile and I was like,
it's what? Like she's obviously not a white girl. So my comment to her was basically like, who's the racist if they're automatically assuming you're something that you're automatically assuming that you're not something that you are. I mean, isn't that just as racist? So,
and like I don't know what's going on with Pharah's lore, because Blizzard releases lore, and like I real talk think she's a robot.
Yeah, she might be. I don't know. No, I don't keep up. I don't keep up with any of that.
Well, I love. Well, obviously because of like this, I've been watching a lot of YouTube theories and Jeff Kaplan Q&As, which are amazing, and all the animated shorts. Just because I just enjoy content and I need something to watch while I'm working. And I really think she's a robot. Or an android at the least. And so it's like, well, if she's a robot, guys, she's no race. She's a robot. She's master race.
But I will say that there was a lot of support when she posted about that. And a lot of people were just like, you do you. Don't worry about what haters want to say. Yeah. I think it was an unfortunate mix.
And she wasn't aiming to offend. It's like, it's such a shame.
And her costume is amazing. I've seen it in person because she was at Emerald City this year. Yeah. And I find it interesting that she mentioned that, when I was at Emerald City, I didn't really have any issues with this, but it was PAX.
PAX makes more sense.
A couple weekends ago where people were, really deriding her and making her feel horrible for, wearing something that she's very proud of. So, and she should be proud of because she kicks ass in it. And, huge shout out to her. I have no idea if she listens to this podcast, but
I don't know if she does either, but I definitely think that she needs
Charmanda, we love you and think you kick ass, and you just hang in there and don't let the hate take you down.
No, just ignore it. And another thing, Brittany Duran said she doesn't even read Reddit comments. So just and I don't either. Just do
Reddit?
That.
No.
Just don't read things. No.
Reddit, no. My
I have
worst
friends
fear.
that go to 4chan and read stuff about themselves. Like,
why?
4chan? That's like the devil's playground. What are you doing?
4chan and Reddit. It's like, those are my two greatest fears of getting, it's like, you get a lot of exposure, but you just get crucified, and it's just like,
it's usually, it's overwhelmingly critical most of the time.
No, thanks.
No. So something else I want to see is I wanted to say, so obviously it's a hot topic talking about race, culture, cultural appropriation.
Yeah, how did we get on such a serious subject?
Well, but I want to say this though. I'm from I believe that if you are paying a tribute to someone's culture, that's different, obviously. And I think there's this weird blurred area where people think that shouldn't be even allowed. There was a child's birthday party that was Japanese themed, and the mom had gone through this elaborate thing to really bring the culture to life. It got hate, and then it got love. It got massively supported because they're like, what? These Japanese women came out and were like, this isn't offensive to us. Yeah. In Japan, they encourage people to embrace their culture.
Exactly.
So it was a very there are both sides, and so just know that people are with you. As long as you mean good and you mean well, that will always come through,
Yes, but
it's doing something out of hate that's bad.
Yes, exactly. But even if you mean well, do not cosplay race. Just saying.
Well, there's certain things that are just common sense.
Yeah,
yes.
because the thing is, and that's a big thing, and it comes up every once in a while in the community. And, so there will be some people that they didn't mean disrespect whatsoever, but, they change their skin color or whatever.
Yeah, the changing of the skin color is never a good idea.
And it's never a good idea. It's like, I don't care what your intention is. It's just don't even go there. So like me.
But people argued the geisha thing was a skin color, and the response was, no, it's not. The geishas wear the paint too. They're not the same skin color underneath. I mean, exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
So like, I'm a good example of that. This last weekend, I went as Lando Calrissian. I'm not the same skin color as him.
No, you're not.
In fact, I'm about as opposite.
You could have worn a Zentai suit. That would have been extremely offensive. I'm glad you did.
Exactly.
That would be. Oh gosh.
But one of his iconic features is his mustache. So I made sure I had a mustache that was the same hair color as my hair. I had that custom made.
You did? I wondered.
Yeah, I did.
It looked really good.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the seller, but there's a gal on Etsy that does some beards and stuff, and my friends from Arms, Armor, and Awesome used her for their Spirit of 76 costume for BlizzCon last year. Mm-hmm. And she made his mustache for that. And that was actually, I think she made his hair too, now I think about it. Anyway, I was impressed with the mustache quality. So I'm like, if I ever need a mustache, I
was like, did he grow that out?
If I ever need a mustache, I'm going to ask Mario. And so, yeah.
It was good. I liked that a lot.
Thank you. My stash got a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I was like, he could do a stash. That's cool.
No.
It was fun. Well, I mean.
No stashes.
Dude,
you just can't get over the 70s cheesiness of it all. It's just, they just don't look right.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Without any other facial hair, I guess they can look kind of funny, but sometimes they're funny.
I don't know. On guys like my age, I mean, if you're like in your 60s or kind of, you're kind of a grandpa age, mustaches are fine. But I don't know. I'm just not a mustache guy. I've never really liked mustaches. So, but anyway, so
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I usually don't grow my mustache out unless I've been in the shop for a while, and then sometimes I'll just let it grow.
Well, sometimes you just gotta let it.
I'm just kidding. That goes without saying. So anyway, so back to the Pharah thing. I'm doing Mecha Queen Pharah. I'm really excited about it. I ordered contacts. I had LASIK a year and a half ago, and I couldn't wear contacts for a year. So I'm finally able to wear contacts. So I'm going to wear the yellow. I got really cool yellow eye ones. I haven't put contacts in so long. I hope I still remember how.
Wow. I've never worn contacts for anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know these won't be very comfortable. I read a lot of reviews on them. It's just sometimes contacts are thicker than others, depending on if they're like a full opaque. So
I gotcha.
I'm only going to wear them for a few hours. I can always pop them out and just be done with them if I can't handle it anymore. But for photos and like the effect, I really want to try to pull this entire look off.
Gotcha.
My issue is, this is the worst part. Like, as I sit here and think about it, I have so much left to do. It's crazy because it was a complete 100% restart. Yeah. Completely.
Yeah, and you started like, what, 2 weeks ago?
I don't even know. I'm glad you know. I can't remember.
with BlizzCon in the middle of it. So I mean.
Yeah. So I'm or DragonCon in the middle. Yeah. So
sorry. I keep saying BlizzCon and DragonCon.
It's okay. They're close enough together. But yeah. So I
should call them ColdCon and FireCon or something.
Yeah, that's cool. So C in Props, I think is his name on Etsy. I'll look it up again. But he has worked with me he had a Mecha Queen Pharah Pepakura. And he has worked with me to like alter some pieces, and I have altered my sizing into the costume because I'm Pepakura designer. So I changed like every piece to fit my body because it really just in its native form it would have to be for like a skeleton person because even though they're hollow in the inside, she's very skinny and svelte. So I'm gonna be plump Pharah, like it's just gonna be different. So
you'll be fine.
In order to keep the pieces skinny. And not be bulky. And on the shortest time frame ever, I wrapped the Pepakura in Warbla, and then they're super hollow in the inside, but still super rigid and strong. And I was able to get like the like for pieces like those of you that are watching will see this, but otherwise you can just use your imagination. So like for pieces like the shin, which are like super tight through there, I didn't have a lot of like this is not really realistic for your leg, and foam would pad it out too much. I made the other Pharah ones out of foam, and it was really hard to get that itty bitty skinny ankle look. So this has been this is working out really well.
And so I've done it before. And so you're using like a heavy cardstock
for the
Pepakura, and then wrapping it in a Warbla basically.
Yeah, and I show that in the videos if you guys want to watch. They're on BlizzCon.com, and then the watch section.
So it's almost like a fiberglass thickness then.
Yeah, it's very lightweight, which is nice. It's as lightweight as.
Will you have to coat the inside at all? Or are you just leave it as paper?
Well, here's my thing is I have upholstery foam that I'm adding to certain parts of the inside so that they stay put and then also are comfortable.
To block it out to it.
Yeah. So like for my like part of my wrist here, there will be upholstery foam in the inside and then it'll be open otherwise for ventilation and whatnot. It won't even touch my skin throughout here. So it's just going to be held in one spot. And it's it's not going to be that comfortable because it is Worbla. And foam could have been more comfortable, but this is going to be very durable to ship. I've shipped a lot of stuff, and Worbla survives, man. It really does. And people talk. I have a lot of friends that talk about like, well, this is a funny thing to actually talk about. I have so many friends that are like, I left my costume in the back seat of my car and it melted and it's ruined.
Yeah.
All right. It has those pieces, those shoulders. So much of my stuff has baked in the sun in 95-degree weather and baked direct sunlight forever. And they've not misshapen. So I don't know if I'm just lucky. I mean, a car in Arizona, that's going to beat me in temp-wise, obviously.
Yeah, because you're going to hit hundreds of degrees in there.
But a car on the Outer Banks, sitting in the heat, I left my King Varian. I left all my, King Varian, a couple things. I left him in the car for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just wore that again, and it survived. So, and that is a lot of foam, but there's a lot of Worbla pieces. Well, they're fine.
You made a durable build, I suppose, is what it
I don't know if I just get the lucky batches of Worbla, but that doesn't happen to me. If anything, my foam stuff misshapes, or the stuff that I put on the outside of my foam, if it gets humid, it'll stick together.
It'll stick, yeah.
Yeah, so I have, so for shipping and for durability, Worbla just does it for me, and I obviously have been working with foam a lot, and this is my return to Worbla after a long time, and it is weird because I just have been using foam for so long. Or for the other costume I was sculpting. I've done a lot of sculpting this year and had a great time with sculpting. I sculpted for my Braveheart lion. I sculpted for the other Pharah, sculpted helmet, sculpted crotch, sculpted.
But sculpting's not quick.
No, and a lot of people that watch this are going to say, like, that was not, you shouldn't be doing it this way. You should do it this way. Yeah. Well, let me just say right now that I had to choose whatever would be fastest for me. So no offense to other methods, that I'm a slow sculptor, really slow.
Well, and not only that, even if you're a fast sculptor, the molding and casting process is slow too. So unless you just have a ton of product and a whole team, and then you can bust stuff out. But when you're a one-person shop, it's hard to do all that work and get things done in what you have
49 days, but technically
6 weeks.
Yeah, it's like slightly less because things have to cure and then get shipped, and I have to be there early. So it's like,
and you have a wedding stuff to deal with,
and a wedding, and finish the Nintendo stuff.
That
has to go back October 19th,
and other stuff. So
it has been it's crazy to juggle all these things. So like while some of the Pharah stuff's curing, I'll work on Nintendo, and then while then something else will open up. And this chess piece, the Mecha Queen Pharah chess piece, is a lot of separate pieces, but I have assembled it, and it's going to be the hardest thing to clean up. But the beauty of this is like it all looks kind of janky, and then it gets 2 coats of XTC, and it doesn't look janky anymore.
That's good. I was just going to ask you if you're going to coat everything in XTC.
Yeah.
So
I got lots of XTC, and I'm just going like this is the only costume I've made that everything's made sort of similarly. Yeah. So because it's like this, it allows me this factory setup, which I haven't had with other costumes. I can go like both shoulders need one more coat, and I know exactly how much to mix. Both legs are curing at the same time, and it's this great little assembly line that is speeding me up so much, and I'm really happy with it. My crotch piece is not going to be is going to be foam, and I've made that, and it's weird. It's just so weird. So I'll show you the piece,
and it's weird.
So if you're watching this, I recommend watching sometimes because you'll mix up. This looks crazy because it sits off of the body, and like it just looks like this. Look how big this is. Wow. This is crazy. But it doesn't fit like underwear. It has to go up like a belt sort of. So it's like extra, and then it sits out really far off of her body. Like this all sits off my body. It's like there's like inside little areas my butt, and it technically on her like attaches under the pointy part at the bottom of the chest, but that won't work for me, so I'm going to have them separate. Crazy. But the chest piece is surprisingly lightweight, pretty comfortable. When I first started making it, I made it really small, and I didn't scale the ab area right, and it was like stabbing this is like adult talk, so if you have children, there is someone that watches with children, so but my my udders were getting stabbed with the pointy pieces. So Yeah, let's keep it family friendly. And I was like, I'm going to need Band-Aids or like runner's stuff to protect me, because at the end of the day, I would just be like in so much pain.
Yeah,
so I
you can't
change. There's a few things of the shape that aren't exactly like her, and that's because Pharah doesn't have whatever I have.
Yeah,
she's just. I think she's just a board underneath.
Yeah.
So
she's just a board. She's you said she's probably a robot, so maybe she's just
she's a robot. So it's been a lot of fun. There's a few things that just the costume's not practical in the foot area, so that's gonna have to be changed a little bit. The hand armor, I'm really proud of that. I like the hand armor. Jerome, my friend DIY Animatronics, he is gonna get the parts for the wings shipped to me on the 25th. We talk all the time, but unfortunately, he cut his finger with his bandsaw in his shop.
I saw that on his, I think on Instagram or something the other day.
It's the first time he's injured himself with a power tool.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no. And so, like, obviously, I didn't think about the costume at first. I just thought, like, this guy, like, what? Because I immediately think, like, is he missing part of his finger?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh.
Well, it's pretty easy to get over. I've cut the tip of my finger off on a table saw 3 times. So
I cut the tip. What? Oh. I was going to say I cut mine off on an onion slicer, but the tip finger on a saw. Gosh.
Three different times. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
it happens.
That's scary.
It happens.
So yeah, he's but once we get the part, he's going to hopefully be included in an episode if we can get it's hard to take video from other people and make sure it's all put together right.
Yeah,
make standards, but hopefully that'll work out. I don't know. The other videos are all surprises. I can't talk about them, obviously.
So is
hopefully
he?
You guys will watch them.
Is he doing some work to make your wings articulate or something? Or
yeah, he is
that the plan?
He had already worked on them for Thunderbird.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I had to keep him, I told him we need to make some changes. And so told him that it was this version and sent him the Pepakura. So the nice thing about me working off of Pepakura is he had the exact sizes and everything.
Oh, yeah,
for
that's true.
The attachments and the wing size. So all of that guessing of me having to send him photos with rulers of the ones I've made.
Yeah, you don't have to guess on the patterning. And
stuff, so it's super awesome.
Well, it sounds like you found a pretty good the best solution you could for streamlining the process to try to get it done as quickly as possible.
And honestly, I know I don't know how advanced cosplay it is. It's fine. But the cool part is that this is super user friendly. So anybody that finds any of the Pepakura costumes out there, and I'm talking there's hundreds of full costumes in paper. Put your measurements and literally take a ruler or take a tape measure, measure your measurements, type it right in. It scales the file. And then if you're like, what do I do next? Well, you're going to see what I do to the stuff that isn't, wrapped in Warbler. I obviously have another method for use for the Pepakura. And the beauty is you can use it that way or this way. And you have a costume so fast. Yeah. So if you're scared to make something and you have the budget for Warbler, or even just like a chest piece out of Warbler, and you have you want to do the Daedric armor. They have that beautiful chest. You could make it all out of paper and then coat it in Warbler, and you have that gratification, which sometimes that's all you need to get the ball rolling, because it can be hard to not have something to look at.
Well, yeah, especially with armor builds, because they generally just take a while, and it's it drags on and on and on and on.
Yeah, it does. It does. The Thunderbird's taken me so long because I've failed a lot, and I've had to, and I've used a lot of new materials I never used before. Yeah. And all those molds, gosh.
So you plan to revisit Thunderbird for yourself sometime, though?
Yeah, it's 75% finished. So, but that's a large amount still, because it's a big number.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish it. I have to. It's so far done. But this one, I'm actually really excited about this one. I don't know why, but the more I'm starting to see it come together, it's strange because this costume is somehow big, but it's not built on anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you see a big costume and you think oh, it must be padded out, like Reinhardt's and stuff.
Yeah.
So this feels really large, but it's all sitting on me.
Yeah, it's not a larger than life build, even though it's got it has large pieces to it.
And I feel really, I'm really excited about it. I just feel excited to wear it. My biggest thing is I'm definitely making a lot of cuts and changes to the leg armor because I have to be able to walk around. So
there's the thing is you can't Every
that can't be like a.
It's like almost every costume's that way. You have to make changes because, especially when you're converting from video games, it's just they use physics that don't exist in real life.
Yeah.
So. And joints and things that would never work and stuff like that.
Exactly. So. And the other thing that sucks is, so if I have time, I want to do something with the chin piece. But the other weird thing that I haven't figured out yet is what to do about the hair, because she has what would be great would be like a sculpt and like have it made out of silicone or rubber or something, like have like a wig. But I don't think time's gonna warrant that.
Gonna make that work for you.
So hopefully I'll figure it out and then I'll put it in the video. But that's what I'm thinking about. So if you have any suggestions on how to make that wig, let me know, please. I'll give you a shout out in the video.
Maybe we know a wig maker out there that can make it for you.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited for people to get to watch whatever I do figure out, and like I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I've done along my way. But
that's cool.
I'm so excited.
I'm looking forward to that. How often are the videos gonna be coming then? Do you know?
I wish I knew. All I know is like they're releasing content all the way up to BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So and then I'll obviously be at BlizzCon finished. So, but
I just didn't know if there was like a set schedule, like we're releasing like one a week or two a week.
I think there is, but I don't know yet. They haven't told me.
Oh, really?
I have my own schedule of like when I have to have things done, and then they just put it all together. It's like very, professional, I guess, on their end.
So they have a plan for you, but you don't necessarily know what their release plan is.
Because I guess I'm part of a grander plan of other things that must align. I don't know.
Ooh, all the planets must align.
All the planets must align, yeah. So I'm really excited, though. I think this is going to be a super fun costume. I love this color scheme. I'm just excited. I just don't know. I'm to the point where so many pieces are put together. I'm starting to be able to see like, ooh, I could put all this on. Like I can put the chest piece on. It has straps and stuff, and like, oh, I like it. But I want everything on. Hey,
talking about that, if you're doing it with the Pepakura, and then you have like the inside is just paper basically. Well, how are you, like if you need to attach like a strapping to the inside of a piece, like how do you, because you obviously can't glue straight to the paper because that's not going to hold.
Right. So I'm doing it the same way that I do like my other straps. So what I'll do is I'll do like a double thermoplastic or like a Centra grommet to the Warbler to the inside so I don't actually need it. I can attach it to the paper, and here's why. I can use hot glue because I'm double layering the Warbler there, so it's thicker. I'm adding like a grommet thing, so I put a Chicago screw. So I glue it in, and then I push the strap in with the grommet, the big surface area of the Centra. Then I put a Chicago screw through, so it's like this. It's like different layers of a sandwich that kind of smushes it together.
Okay, yeah. So it's a reinforced type.
Yeah, it's like heavily reinforced. All my straps are because I have like a.
Well, I was just curious because I've never really messed with that style of building before. Yeah. So.
And it's too thin for even the shortest of my Chicago screws because it is so thin. Yeah. So I have to like chunk it up like sandwich style. But I have the straps on them now, and I just use like a hole punch right through the stuff. But I should be covering strapping on it too on the episodes.
Cool. And Chicago screws, how great are they? I mean,
I just love them so much. Can't live without them.
Yeah, they're like, and in case anybody that's listening doesn't know what a Chicago screw is, it's basically like a rivet that's a screw.
Yeah.
Is the best way I can explain it. So, and they're definitely very helpful.
They are, yeah. They're really great.
All kinds of things.
So what's going on with you?
Well, we just did Rose City Comic Con in Portland this last weekend. So yeah.
Was it great?
That's what's going on with me. Yeah, that con's a great con. It's a lot of fun. It's only like its 5th year. So it's still kind of a baby con, which is nice. I think I read somewhere they had like 20,000 people last year or something. So, I mean,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a good amount of people, but it's not super packed like Emerald City or PAX would be.
Yeah, PAX is crazy. I can't believe it. I've seen all the footage and stuff. My friend Nick, he writes articles like on gaming and cons and stuff, and he wrote a really it's Invin Global, actually. If you guys are interested in seeing what PAX looks like from a really great cohesive, is that the word I'm thinking of?
Sure.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. It's like all inclusive. There we go.
Inclusive.
An all inclusive
There you go.
kind of content.
Kind of look
he
at
walks around and I just read his PAX article. He takes pictures of all the booths. He got invited to the invite only Blizzard party, and he takes a picture of the goodies they gave out to all the people that were invited, like a gaming mouse, this bag, like Blizzard gave them all gifts. Cool. It's nuts. It's like this fun insider perspective. He goes to every booth, takes pictures of all the stuff that's on display, people that have costumes and props that have made for booths, like all the goodies that they give away. And I missed all that stuff because I follow a lot of these companies, but there's just too many. It gets lost in your feed. So it was like really cool to get to see that. So it's on invinglobal.com, and it's Nick is his name. But I don't know. He covers a lot of really interesting stories, but it's fun to get to see a con like that. It's kind of like the cliff notes of the event.
Yeah,
he takes pictures of little lines and stuff too, which are obviously funny. Outrageous.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like, it's not a New York City Comic Con or a San Diego, but I would compare the size of like, Emerald City and PAX to more like BlizzCon, but with more people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so something like Rose City, I would just call like a medium con, which is my favorite size of con because I usually get to see all the people I want to see. Cause like when we go to Emerald City every year, you have your con friends, and like half of them I don't see at Emerald City because it's just so big, and the conference center is like 4 different levels, and it's just real easy to miss people. The Oregon Convention Center where Rose City is held is right there by downtown Portland. Has a great convention center. It's all one level. Good sized convention floor. Although we didn't go last year, but we went the year before and the year before that. And I definitely saw an increase in traffic, like on the con floor itself. Whereas in the past years, you were more, kind of elbow room to people. And in some of the busier parts of the floor this year, it was the, kind of swimming with the fish, elbows in, and, you're kind of tight in some of the main areas. So it's definitely getting to be a busier con. One thing I have to give a shout out to their crew, because I think they handled the weapons thing really, really well, which is something we've talked about on past episodes because of what happened in Phoenix. And I know they did this because they can do it because they're a smaller size con and you don't have people waiting in line for 5 hours, but they just simply did one entrance. They had bag check and weapon check right when you walked in.
That's one thing DragonCon doesn't have, and I hate that it doesn't have weapons.
But there's so many I know, it's people impossible. And so many places at DragonCon. But since like the conference center in Portland's contained in one area, they just had the main gate, and you just did weapons check right there, right before you even walked in, and you got your weapon, banded if you had a safe weapon, and there wasn't a ban on, it was just like most cons are. No real weapons and no metal weapons, and that's it. And they allowed everything else, and they just stuck a band on it, and it was great, and it was no problem, and it went really quick every time. But then again, it's a smaller con, so they were able to do that and not have it be that big of a deal. Now,
I want to interject. There's a story Bill and Brittany told me about a guy that opened up a switchblade right in front of Bill's face. Was that at a con you were at?
It was at a con I was at, but I wasn't there when it happened. I actually ran into Bill like maybe 20 minutes after that happened, and he was still kind of like, not really in shock, but just kind of surprised by the whole ordeal, So, but so I thought that, because there could be so many knee-jerk reactions to Phoenix Comic-Con and how cons are handling stuff now, and I just think Rose City handled it really well. And overall, a really, really well ran con. It's like they've only been doing it 5 years, but their team does a really good job. And I think they take people's feedback seriously. And I don't know if I've been to a con that's run as well as Rose City is. It's really great. And it's probably for Pacific Northwest, my favorite con to attend. Because
I'll put that on my list. That'll have to be one I'll consider for the
mostly because of the size. It's not so. When it comes down to it, I don't like super huge busy cons because it's just not fun for me. You just kind of get pushed around like your cattle, and that's that, So my whole family went down there. We Airbnb'd a whole house. So we had.
I saw you talking about that.
We had a whole house to ourselves.
I've never done an Airbnb before.
Oh, I haven't either, but it was great. The house we had was actually built in 1904. So
what? By who? Who built that there?
I don't know. And it was just a great old house that had a lot of really neat woodworking and a lot of space, which was amazing because we had me, my wife, my daughters, and then my in-laws. So 6 of us in the house. We had a great time at the Airbnb. That went well because I'd never done Airbnb before.
Is it a lot cheaper than a hotel, or just the convenience is what the reason?
Well, it was quite a bit cheaper. I mean, if we'd done the host hotels, they would have been like $175 per room.
That's a lot. And is that before taxes and stuff? Because it always starts at
I think that's
ends up being like $210.
Yeah, exactly. It was about that, And so just for us, that'd be like $600 because we stayed 3 nights. That would be like close to $600.
And it's not like you can split the cost with your kids.
Yeah, and then we had my in-laws on top of it. They would have to pay the same amount for a room. We had a house for 3 nights for $800.
Oh yeah, for a house, that's fine. Yeah,
for 6 people.
For 6 people, yeah, because I rent a house. I rent that's right. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because they would have paid $175 for their room as well. Which is more like $200.
Plus, you get you could bring food and stuff and eat, which is kind of nice because even at DragonCon we had like snacks and food in the room because like sometimes it's hard to navigate your way to a place to eat.
Oh, exactly. And
so you need just a quick snack sometimes.
Exactly. And the other thing is you're not confined to this tiny little hotel room and you're on top of each other.
Yes. Honestly, that's a perk because.
And when you have costumes and everything, we had just there was this huge dining room, right? Because it's an old house and that's when they built houses and the dining room was kind of like the focal point. And we just piled all of our cosplay in the dining room. And it was great. It was like this vault for our cosplay and it was out of the way.
That's the best because I had to keep unpacking and reshuffling at DragonCon because I'm with 4 people.
Yeah, because you have all this limited space.
Yeah, and you don't want to explode all over your people.
No,
but I had to look for something and then have it oh man, one small room is hard.
So probably my favorite thing about that place though, and I found this on purpose, it was 5 minutes from the conference center. 5 minutes.
Yeah, so, walking or 5 minutes,
a drive.
Oh, okay. So you guys parked at the conference center?
No, we just Ubered.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
Or actually, I used Lyft, but so we just got a Lyft ride. It was $7 one way to go there, down and back. So that's.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. That's super good quality for 6 people for all of you.
Well, when we did all of us, it was like 12 because we'd have to order.
Great, though.
We'd have to ask for an extra large vehicle, But it was only all of us together one time. So because my in-laws weren't there the whole weekend, they left early because they don't go both days.
Yeah.
But even that, it was $12 one way. I mean,
that's super reasonable, man. Uber at PAX East was terrible. It was really expensive, and I had to take a lot of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say because when we were going there and parking, well, one, you got to find a parking place, and you drive around for 20 minutes trying to find one, and then when you finally find one, it's like $30. So
yeah. And just a side note, I've had tremendously better experience with Lyft than Uber. I prefer Lyft.
Okay, I want to throw that out there. I had never used Lyft before, but I used Uber for Blizzcon last year, and I was like, I'm going to give Lyft a try because I've heard a lot of nice things about Lyft. Lyft was amazing. Every single driver was awesome. It was great, and a couple of them were even nerds, and some of them were like, the one lady was like, we go to San Diego Comic-Con every year. And she's like talking all about the stuff they do there. And they're talking about our cosplay. And it was the Lyft drivers.
I love that.
The Lyft drivers were great.
My Uber, I have nightmare horror stories at PAX East with my Uber drivers. Liz was in the car with me during one, and I'm just telling this lady has no idea where she's going. I pulled up the directions on the phone. I'm trying to navigate to her. She's panicking, and I'm like, just pull over right here and let me out. And she won't, and she's insistent on continuing to go. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it. I'm like, you've already been paid for this. A lot of times I feel like they're brand new and they think they get more for driving around or something.
I don't know.
I have no idea because
they have an app right there that tells them where to go. I don't understand, and it's the same.
Well, this one lady canceled our payment. You're holding in your hand
and watching.
Really. Yeah. Well, this one lady canceled the payment by accident. So she gets in the car, and so she had the directions wrong. She starts panicking, and she's trying to re-enter them, and she accidentally cancels the ride. So she's like, I'm not going to get paid for this anymore, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? That's not on my end. Tell me how to fix it. Do I just push another button? I'm not going to.
I would think you just re-request the ride. I mean, it's
yes, and she was panicking, and it was like we were just like, what is happening? We finally get out of the car and walk a long way because we're just like, this is crazy. Like it was. I feel bad for someone like that. I wasn't screaming at her or anything. I would never do that to another person. But I was like, lady, I get things are rough for you right now, but I just gotta go. I gotta go. You gotta let me out. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I gave her cash too, because I was just like, I don't know how to fix what's wrong for you. So here, just take this.
I'm with you. Lyft was definitely the better option. It was interesting cosplaying and taking Lyft rides and stuff. That was kind of
you were in costume.
Yeah. That was pretty
cool.
fun because we just get ready at the house and just pack everything up and it was funny because the one guy when we were leaving the one day he was like, yeah, no problem. I had the Suicide Squad in here earlier, so.
That's hilarious.
I know,
dude.
I know.
One thing that I thought was really cool that I just made me think of PAX East was Blizzard did that again. Sorry, as Steve, I love Blizzard so much. Blizzard did the partnership with either Lyft or Uber, and you got to ride around in the Overwatch cars.
Oh yeah. Well,
like that was freaking cool, dude.
So last year at PAX, they did Mad Max cars, and there were several. Wow. I actually have a photo of me. I'm dressed as Calhoun. It was before we did our.
Oh, that's so cool.
Actually, it was 2 years ago, I guess, now that I think about it, because I was dressed as Calhoun. But you could legit ride in like Mad Max's car.
I love that. I want that because like that. I wish that would happen at more cons. Like honestly, the people that own the DeLorean and the Ghostbusters vehicle and the Shaggin' Wagon. I'm just trying to think of all the ones I see. Jurassic Park Jeep,
the A-Team van.
All of those things. Instead of having them on display inside of the showroom.
Go for rides in them.
Yeah, go for rides in them. Dude, kids would lose their crap over that. Like that's the coolest thing ever. Like to be a dad or mom and tell a kid like, hey, guess what I got picking us up, And it's like the Ghostbusters. Like kids would flip. That's such a good idea.
I agree.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we were there it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday con. My daughters and I went on Friday. My wife didn't go because she's like 2 days at cons are enough for her.
I can understand that.
And so my daughters went dressed as Bill and Ted, which they always kill in those costumes.
Dude, that's so funny.
Because they look so amazing.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture, I think.
Yeah, I'll make sure that you see it. But
yeah, I feel like one of them's wearing a blonde wig and one's wearing a black wig. Isn't
that's Bill and Ted. Yeah,
it's Keanu Reeves. Yeah,
from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I make that joke all the time. I even made it about Bill and Ted at DragonCon, but I always forget what it's about, like what they looked like. It's been so long.
Yeah,
I've seen it. I'm gonna watch.
And I was just dressed in normal clothes, wearing my Coregeek t-shirt, because I like to just, first day I like to just check out the con and meet new artists and stuff like that. So
that reminds me, I did a casual Jackie cosplay at DragonCon.
Did you?
I did really? The day I did Bill's makeup was I did.
Oh, that's right. You wore your Smooth On shirt.
I wore my bike shorts.
And your bike shorts.
Yeah, I brought them out of the dungeon. I wore my shop sneaks, my bike shorts, and I didn't care at all. I was like, I don't care. I'm fearless. I wear my bike shorts. I love my bike shorts.
Yeah.
And they had like all kinds of stuff on them. They
all kinds of shop leftovers on them.
But they had shop leftovers. And I wore a tank and I wore my Smooth On shirt that had stuff on it. And I was like, dude, this is me. This is me. This is what I look like. And it was so funny. Like someone even pointed it out and was like, the bike shorts. I was like, yeah, I love them. It made me so happy. It's it's really fun that you can cosplay anything. People like jokes stuff. Like just be yourself, whatever's funny to you or whatever's part of your personality.
Yeah, precisely.
I love that. That's my favorite cosplay of 2017.
And it was very comfortable, right?
It was so, I could have run. I mean, I hiked all over.
Yeah.
Like it was excellent. I had a backpack on. I was like just doing it.
Nice.
I had a great time. It was so fun. So I love casual cosplays are the best. I love making and looking at a really fancy one, but I like wearing a comfortable one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like, yeah, you go ahead and do that. So, but yeah, so my girls had a good time on Friday. I did too. Saturday rolled around. It went pretty well. We kind of finally were able to have our full Star Wars group together.
That was a cool photo.
Which consisted of 3 Princess Leias, my father-in-law as the Emperor, and me as Lando. So that was pretty cool. Got to shoot with one of my favorite people, Brett Downen from Downen Photography, who's a guy, a friend of mine. His wife is Bev Downen from Downen Creative Studios. She was on the Wonder Woman episode a while back.
Yeah.
Amazing photographer, amazing people. that was like one of my biggest thing was being able to shoot with them. It wasn't like a huge shoot, but we got some, I hope we got some good photos. I've seen a couple come back. So everything that he shot of everybody else looks amazing already. So including my sword winner, he got some primo pictures.
Oh yeah, that was I loved that. I was like, dang, those girls look so good.
Aren't they amazing? They
look really good.
I know. I was just like, I cannot believe how much I lucked out on this draw.
You got like the perfect winner. Like that was super luck. It's like she just killed it. I was like, dang girl. Like
I know. They're just like that's Karma Cosplay. Shout out to Karma Cosplay.
Yeah,
It went well. We had a good time, got some photos, got to see everybody that I wanted to see. I think there was a few people I might have missed, but from the Portland crew. And then Sunday rolled around and it was a disaster. So
oh no, why was it a disaster? Oh, because you had that makeup problem.
Yeah, because of the prosthetics for my daughter's knucks. So
yeah, I asked my doctor about that today. I do have a doctor. I had some. Yeah, I know it's so funny, but I asked the nurse first, and she'd never used a silicone adhesive. But I showed him the two that I linked you, and he said he was like, yeah, they use it in like field stuff and like sports medicine and stuff. Yeah. And he said it's really good. Like the first one I linked, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I was like, do you think it would hold something on your skin like a costume thing? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'd still like to find an answer as to why the Telesis didn't work. I don't know.
I mean, but to be honest, the way I look at it is like, if you can get something that you know is going to be really good, then you save the headache of it, like you can find out why that didn't work, but I would go ahead and get yourself a silicone adhesive, like a medical grade, just so that you can,
know for sure. is the Telesis was very disappointing because, I threw a shout out or a question out there to Facebook, and pretty much hands down, everybody said Telesis is the thing to go to for silicone, for attaching silicone to your skin. It's pretty much industry standard for that. So I don't know if I was using it wrong or what, and I don't mind dumping it and doing something else, but it bugs me that I don't know why it didn't work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like, okay, so like, I agree.
Plus that crap is expensive. I paid $70 for that stuff.
What?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, the medical grade adhesives are less. That's crazy, and they're expensive. But so Spirit Gum, a lot of people say like the Spirit Gum's just fine for them, blah blah blah. They like it. Prozaid crushes Spirit Gum.
Yeah, but most everybody that I talk to, because again, I'm not a makeup.
This isn't for silicone now. I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And most people are like, well, Prozaid's great except for silicone.
Well, but my analysis was that Spirit Gum is for costume and stuff, and like that's what it's created for. And then like Prozaid wasn't created for that; it's created for medical stuff. So it's like, exactly. This is gonna work. Yeah. But if I paid $70, let me just, I didn't know that. Like, this is like a record. I would straight up contact customer service in the most polite way, but let them know that I failed my children because of them.
Yeah, there actually were tears. My kids.
Here's what I would have done. I would have taken a picture of my child crying and then sent it to them.
Well, it's funny. It's like it was actually the one that wasn't having the prosthetics done was the one that was crying. But
what?
Yeah, because she really wanted to go to the con again. Well, it was just
taking so long.
Well, it was just such a nightmare morning and everything, and we needed to leave Portland by about 2:00 anyway. We had gotten to that point where it just wasn't worth going back, so we just went home that day.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I can understand that would make me really frustrated.
Because my youngest daughter had school on, the next day, and my wife had to work. So we couldn't get back home like super, super late. We needed to come home and get unpacked and get people ready to, it's just adulty things. So that was we just bagged the whole day. So that was uber disappointing. Uber disappointing.
I would write that story up and send it to customer service. Like they may send you a refund.
But the thing is I'm not a makeup guy, so I don't know if I was applying it wrong.
Yeah, but I saw Walter posting to your stuff, and he said you were doing it right. And Walter's an expert.
I know. And like I said,
what if you got a bad batch? That happens.
I guess that's possible.
I know for a fact it's possible because I got a bad batch of something not that long ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like epiphany. And I contacted customer support, and they sent me another one, but I don't remember what it was. I always will contact customer support just because I don't mind calling people.
I may.
The
whole reason I switched was because before we were using what is it? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, you were using the two-part mixing.
Yeah, from Smooth On.
The Skin Tight?
Skin Tight, yeah.
There you go, yeah.
Which is also an adhesive, and it works great. And
I have Skin Tight too.
And the first time we did that costume, but Nux has all these scars, right? I mean, there's a ton of them, and they're all silicone prosthetics that my daughter sculpted, and then I cast in dragon skin, basically. And the first time we did it, that stuff holds great, but because it kicks so fast and you have to mix it in little batches, it just took forever to, mix, set. And it was just like, it probably took 3 hours just to put the scars down, and all I was trying to do was find a way to speed up the process. Right. And so I figured some type of adhesive that comes in a bottle that you brush on would speed up the process greatly. Most everybody recommended Telesis. I could not get it to set. It just stayed gummy. Anyway, so the scarring just wouldn't stay on. It just kind of shifted off. It's kind of hard to explain, but so anyway, we ended up just bagging it. Yeah.
Yeah, I made some worm thingies, like weird things for a Beetlejuice makeup. I was practicing for October last year, and I used that Skin Tight. I bought like the kit, or they gave me a kit actually that was like a zombie kit, and I practiced, and it does set up extremely fast.
It does, but again, it works great. I mean, it's not that Skin Tight didn't work for us. It's just it took too long to apply. And
I wonder if they have something you could use to slow it down.
I mean, ironically, had we used it, it probably would have taken about the same time, and we still could have gone to the con.
That's such a pain.
Because at least the scars would have been on her,
Well, hopefully anybody that's listening, if they have experience with something else, that's the beauty of this platform is that people can talk to us. Respond back if they have.
Yeah, help. And again,
that helps me.
I'm not a makeup prosthetic guy whatsoever. I barely dabble in it, and I so far hate all of it, and I don't want to do any of it. So I just want to build things. So anyway, our con was great, other than the caveat of Sunday just being a disaster. But it happens, It does happen. Life goes on. People come home, and you kind of forget about things, and you go back to normal. So, but it was highly disappointing, and mostly because that was for the Mad Max Fury Road group, and as a family, we've only done that one time at one con on one day. And that was Emerald City 2 years ago. And we've never done it since. And I spent like 3 months building costumes for that. And I was really, really looking forward to not only doing those again as a family, but also we don't really have any good like professional quality group pictures of us together from that. And I was really looking forward to shooting with Brett on that day too and getting like a couple good shots out of it. And we didn't get a chance to do that. So,
well, if I get to come to Emerald City Comic-Con and they want to do it there, which is only like 4 months away or something now, or 5 months away.
Yeah, it's creeping up quick. Because
weird. Then I will gladly bring my kit, and I'll do the makeup.
You will do the.
I'm a freak that I'll just buy a bunch of these silicone things just to try them, and we will make sure it sticks to her face. Like, don't worry, and it could be fun.
Yeah, no, that would be a blast.
Yeah, I like that. That'd be cool. So.
But I did finish my Lando stuff finally, which is great. I've mentioned before. Yeah. I built his axe in 3 days.
I know. You sent me a picture. I was like, wow.
So, and that was, that was in between doing finishing up other things too. Like I had to finish my wife's helmet for her Indoor Leia. I had to do some like all the strapping and stuff for the Lando armor and paint the Lando armor. And so it really, I probably built it in 24 hours ish.
That's great.
Which is the fastest thing I've ever put together, from scratch, basically. I mean, it uses a lot of found parts, and I tried to match the found parts as much as possible to the original stuff. But yeah, I'm surprised I was able to pull that off as quick as I did. So, and,
it looks really good.
And shout out to my buddy David at, I think you pronounce it Renraku or Renaku. I can't pronounce his prop name page. It's RENRAKU. I got his DL18 blaster kit, which is a resin blaster kit from him. And I was able to put that together in about 3 hours. So that's definitely the quickest I've ever finished a resin kit.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow, you were very productive.
I was. I got a lot of stuff done in like 4 days before it was con crunch
awesome.
hell. So yeah. So everything went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the costume. I didn't finish the boots though. He has these weird like boot sandals things.
Well, I didn't even notice your feet. So
yeah, well, I figured nobody really knows what Lando's boots look like anyway. So what's it matter? But eventually, I may go back and actually build he wears these boots that look like sandals. I know it's hard. It's like in your mind, it's like, what? How is that possible? But he does.
Yeah.
It's like these weird,
I can imagine it.
They're like half boot, half sandal.
Yeah, I think I know what they look like, actually. Like,
yeah.
I think if I think about it long enough.
Yeah. Well, I just wore my motorcycle boots that I wear for Furiosa. They looked okay. And I just put a little more. I put a little more dust. I dusted them up a little more, so they just looked a little dirtier. So.
I mean, I think it looked fine. I didn't notice your feet, so that's good.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, everybody spends a lot of time on feet, but nobody really looks at them or pays attention.
Yeah,
to
dude,
them,
I wish that like I could get nobody to look down at all. I wouldn't make anything from the knee down.
I know, right?
I would love that.
We should just all say, okay, waist up cosplay. That's it.
I feel like I'm not going to be able to walk very well. And like, I wish I could get the convention to let me use a Segway or a boosted board.
Yeah, right.
Like really bad. It's like, fine guys. Like, because I want to be able to get around. It's not that I won't have the energy or the want to walk. I want to walk around. I'm on my feet all the time, but I won't be able to. I feel like I'm going to like waddle. So I don't know. I got to do some stratting on how to be more comfortable. That's what I'm going to do when we finish here is actually hack down some of that stuff. And I don't know what'll make it into the videos just because there's so much. But luckily, whatever I don't talk about in the videos, I'm going to be able to talk about at the con and also on my own pages and then here, which is great. So Blizzard's awesome.
That's cool. So that's it for me as far as what's been going on. I have a bunch of people that want Wonder Woman swords again, so I think I might have to do another run of Wonder Woman swords, which I'm not really looking for. I'm not really looking forward to doing, but you know, the people demand it.
You're gonna do fine though. It's funny. This is a good full circle ending point that we can talk about. So at Dragon Con, when you were talking about, someone asked me. It might have been Nick, actually, Modulus Props. I can't remember. It was one of your friends asked generally, like at the table, if Eric ever figured out what was going wrong with his swords.
Oh, yeah, because of my...
Might have been JT. It was one of our like maker friends. And I was like, no, blah, blah, blah. And Steven is sitting across from me. He's like, what was happening?
Yeah.
And I told him.
And you're talking about my pain issue.
Yeah, my pain issue. And because you had... yeah, I mean, it's in a previous episode. You guys can listen.
Yeah.
And Steven told me... I couldn't remember exactly if it was the 300 or the 325 it had happened with.
It was 300.
It was the 300. Okay, yeah. So.
Oh no! Actually, I take it back. It was Onyx.
Oh, it was Onyx. Oh, gosh, I wish I would have told him that. So I knew he asked if it was the ones you were cold casting. I said yeah, and he told me he used 325 and had an issue that looked like poxed skin. Like all these things. And he explained it to me and I was like, you should just tell Eric this because I'm not going to get it right back to him. But he explained it in a way. He had a problem that sounded similar to yours. And so I thought like, wow, you guys need to talk about this because, you know, gave him headaches too. But now to hear that it's different resin, because he was really hoping that his ended up being the resin. He had this issue with something he was doing that was happening with the resin. And he was like, well, maybe he's having the same issue I had.
Yeah.
But
no, as far as I can tell, mine wasn't resin based because when I did the removal of the paint, it as soon as I got the paint layer off and it was just at the primer level, the bubbling was gone. So the bubbling was actually in the paint layers. So
okay, gotcha. That's what I had to that when you sanded it off, it was back to normal.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you had sanded also the resin and got rid of it at that level.
No, because I ended up using lacquer thinner to just take off all the paint to strip it because it's just so much faster than sanding stuff. And when I would strip that first couple layers of paint, it would get because I have pretty heavy primer layer on it. And once you got to the primer layer, it would be fine. So it was definitely a mix of the two paints I was using, even though it shouldn't have been because they were both acrylics. But I honestly think it had to do with the humidity at the time.
Right.
So because it was just so hot.
Right. And so something that's crazy is I figured out what was wrong with my shoulders. Yes, I did talk to Chad on the phone, and yes, Chad had some advice, but I sat down and just I started really thinking about what it could be. And I know because I have things that are done similarly, but that one had one very key step that was different. And my epoxy sculpt, I smooth it with water, and it needed longer to cure.
Oh,
and
gotcha. I
know what happened is I took it outside, and the water that was still trapped in that epoxy sculpt, it was still wet underneath, or damp.
Yeah.
The heat heat of those water molecules and it, the gas. That's where my problem was. I was thinking of every single step I did wrong. And I have literally killed myself. I've been trying, I have a couple pieces here. I was just going ham outside, and I went really thick on the primer to see if I could make it happen. And I've been mad a little bit about the Rust-Oleum primer being accused of it, because it just didn't seem like it was that simple.
Yeah.
Because I am heavy-handed. I've used that stuff heavy on all kinds of stuff. Well, it definitely had to have been that. Because it's the only one that I didn't let the epoxy sculpt have this huge amount of time to really bake and cure.
Gotcha.
And it was just, I let it just cure enough, and then I sprayed it.
Yeah, cure enough to paint it, but not super cured. I
should not have put an alcohol-based anything over top of something that I had used water on, and moisture was trapped.
Yeah.
So it needed to bake, so to speak. And I'm fully confident that that's what it is. And I feel like now that I know, because it's the only thing in the shop that has done that. And I rushed it so fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes total sense.
Yeah. So. And that's humidity is our culprit. I mean, water in any form is the worst.
Right.
I could just die. I'm crossing my fingers that it rained today and there's a freaking hurricane coming.
Oh, no. No hurricanes.
Yeah. I know, it's supposed to be here Tuesday.
No way.
And it's a 1, but we had a 1 that flooded my yard.
Oh, no.
So I'm just hoping it doesn't come from a bad direction. I'm hoping that's fast moving, gets out of here. And I hope, I don't need rainy days. I just can't have rainy days. It's been beautiful. Yeah. I'm spoiled.
Yeah. Yeah, you need smooth sailing all
I do. I need every single day to be perfect.
All the way to BlizzCon.
I'm going to die. I told Liz, I'm really thinking of taking whatever I can in its primer state, shipping it, finishing at her house, because the paint will guaranteed dry.
Oh yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. And it won't get messed up in transport.
Yeah. She's like, "Come on, bring it," and I was like, "All right."
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, because I can get there a week early and just have it just curing and not have to worry about the shipping. Is what makes me nervous. It's that deadline of finishing when it can be shipped.
Absolutely.
So, and then I can just leave it at her house and come back and get it later.
There you go.
I did with King Carrie. So she won't mind. Thunderbird Pharah stayed in her house for 4 months.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what do you know? She's your armorer.
Yeah, she's the armory. Liz is the armory. So.
Yep. Okay, well, you got anything else you want to cover, or are we calling this episode closed?
I don't think so. I think the other day that we talked about we could chat. I think it'd be fun to maybe see if we could do just one more, just have a little chat. Then I have other stuff to talk about, but I'm starting to get anxiety about sanding. I feel you know how if you're away from sanding too much, it's like your mistress. I feel like you're neglecting your sanding mistress.
Yeah, you're like, hey.
I have. I'm gonna give you a peek. I have this thing. It just looks like just It hasn't been sanded at all yet, and it's just in dire need.
Is that one of the shoulders?
Yes, and it's in dire need of sanding, and I keep staring at it while I'm sitting here, and I'm just
and you're like, I need to sand that.
It's like a rotten tooth that just needs to be filled. That's how I feel right now. Just rotten. Ugh. It's going to be beautiful. It's just, 10 out of 10 maximum effort right now.
Okay. Well, we'll do what we can to keep episodes coming, but I know you're going to be busy in the next 6 weeks, so.
Well, we should be able to fit something in now.
People will have to bear with us.
Yeah, and at least you'll get to see me on another format. You can watch the virtual ticket videos. I promise my hair isn't greasy. It's wet. I just looked at the camera. Anybody that watches this is going to be like, that girl needs to wash her hair. I just showered. It's clean. I promise. It looks so weird. I know Eric's hair always looks so greasy. He never showers for the podcast. Rude.
Actually, I haven't showered yet today.
Oh my gosh, that's okay. You're forgiven. I went to the doctor, so I had to shower.
I can see my center stripe. I need to cut my hair again. See that?
I like the center stripe. No, the center stripe is the best. I wish you'd keep that forever. It's so cool.
No, I hate that. It's so weird.
Bill has the two stripes right here. I think it's so cool when guys have a fun natural stripe.
Yeah, no thanks. No, what? This is crushed from wearing a motorcycle helmet all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's like my hair grows in a different. It crushed the follicles. It's because it's not because my hair's white there. It's because it grows in a different direction.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was lighter.
No, it's just dorky looking. That's all I know. So that's why I cut my hair so short.
I think it's cool.
No, I hate it.
Don't hate it. It's cool.
All right. Okay, time to say goodbye.
All right, I'm gonna wish me luck and
good luck, Jackie. Hang in there.
You can do it. I'm gonna hang there. I can do
it. Everybody that talks to the podcast is all cheering you right now. Yeah, you can do it, Jackie. You can do it.
Thanks, guys. I hear you.
Okay. It's been real.
It's been real something.
See y'all next time on Craft and Geek.
Bye, guys.